get to know your local regulations. And this is another one of those things of I can't give you magical answers or templated responses for this kind of stuff. There's 50 different ways and 52 different ways if you start thinking about territories, but just in the U.S., there's possibly 50 different ways that insurance is implemented and how it operates in your state. So you have no choice but to do a little learning. You need to know, well, what happens or what's the difference or what is the, requirements if a data breach occurs? Who needs to be notified? And is that something that insurance can cover? Is that something that insurance would cover immediately? Or would that be something that insurance has no need to cover immediately? Maybe the policy says, yes, we will cover this, but we will cut you a check for it for 3 or 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 3 months. In the meantime, can your client continue to operate? Do they have the capital available? Do you have the capital available to wait the 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the 5 weeks for the insurance to cut a check? Some states require public entities to notify a fusion center or a cybersecurity, basically just a cybersecurity clearinghouse for the state or the Secretary of State of a ransomware event. Here in North Carolina, we have legislation on the books that would mean that if you were an MSP and you were providing services to a municipality or to a state entity or agency, if that agency was hit by a ransomware attack, you can't pay the ransom. You have to contact the Fusion Center here. You have to give the governor's office the opportunity to sign off on should that ransom be paid or not. So, and again, that changes state to state, and you need to know about it. And that means, like for us, it requires, I believe it's Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania, not quite sure on that one, but the governor has to declare a state of emergency to approve ransomware payments, regardless of if an insurance company would have covered it for it. So if a state, so if you're an MSP that is interacting with a state entity or municipality, your next steps after an incident and filing an insurance claim, your hands may be really tied. You may not be able to actually do anything to resolve the situation. And again, that is something you need to know and research. And the only way to do that is either you hire legal counsel to spin through this all and they can tell you all this, or you've got to do a fair bit of reading. Also, you need to understand what, obligates you or your client to notify state or federal agencies of a data breach. If your client is HIPAA, small medical practice, a physical therapy practitioner, and they have a situation where it's like, data exfiltration. The ransomware group dropped a ransomware note, and they have an extortion page up that says, hey, we have your information. Here's an example of it. Who do you have to contact? Health and Human Services would be one of them. Does your state require you to have to do that? And again, these are all things that aren't quite, while these might not have anything directly to do with insurance, they can have so many knock-on consequences of it that you need to know about it, because not doing things the right way can mean insurance does not have to pay. France They have a 72-hour reporting window for ransomware attacks. If you do not report within 72 hours, that insurance claim does not have to be approved. So it's important to know not only the insurance itself, but also regulations governing insurance operates in your jurisdiction.